Bobby, no! Hey guys, welcome to another Bargain Bin movie review. Today's film is a 2023 action flick, Kill. When Army Commander Amrit finds out his true love Talika is engaged against her will, he boards a New Delhi-bound train in a daring quest to derail the arranged marriage. But when a gang of knife-wielding thieves, led by the ruthless Fani, begin to terrorize innocent passengers on his train, Amrit takes them on himself in a death-defying kill spree to save those around him, turning what should have been a typical commute into an adrenaline-fueled thrill ride.
Rated R.
Lakshya plays Amit Rathod, an army commando and our main character. Amrit is deeply in love with Talika. Lakshya definitely brings the physicality to the role. His more emotional scenes feel a bit cheesy, but that's the vibe of the overall film. Tanya Manaktala plays Talika Singh, the love interest of Amrit and the daughter of a rich train magnate. She's recently engaged in an arranged marriage proposal, but she has no plans to follow through with it. Talika is a posh woman, but with a fiery side. I think Tanya does a good job of conveying her fear while on the train. Raghav Juyal plays Fani, the main bandit and adversary for Amrit. Fani is my favorite character in the movie. He has a good character arc, from following his father's plans in the beginning of the movie to making up his own plans as the movie goes on. Raghav does a great job of bringing this subtle psychotic character to life. So this is my first bargain bin review of a foreign movie that is not in English, as if you couldn't tell from how bad I butchered those names. Given that this movie is from India, the characters speak Hindi. But what was weird is that they would occasionally say full sentences in English in the middle of a conversation. It goes a little something like, "Was machst du denn? We are going to the park. Der Hund ist sehr groß." Now, I don't know if this is something that's common to Bollywood movies. If you know more about these type of films, please let me know about it in the comments below. It felt weird to be paying such close attention to the subtitles and then just reading an entirely English line. The movie opens with Amrit and his best friend and fellow soldier Varesh coming back from an undisclosed mission. He gets word that his love Talika is engaged to another man because of a marriage proposal that her father organized. They meet up at her engagement party and they share a sweet moment. When Talika tells Amrit that she's going to New Delhi with her family on a train, he makes plans to get on that same train to join her. The train is also boarded by at least 36 bandits looking to make a quick payday. The only reason why I mentioned that it's at least 36 bandits is because the movie makes a point to tell you that. When the bandits realize that Talika's father, the rich train magnate, is on the same train, their plans go from petty theft to ransom. Luckily, Amrit and Varesh are there to save the day. And that's really the whole plot. Once the fighting starts, it doesn't end till the movie ends. It's not the strongest story, but it's just enough to warrant the action throughout the film. The first thing that stood out to me is how Amrit and Talika are not together, despite being so in love with each other. India has a long history of using a caste system to separate people. Amrit is a highly decorated commando, well-respected and honorable. He should be considered an exceptional marriage candidate, but they still say that they can't be together. I can only assume that being in the military isn't the same echelon as transportation CEO. Now, obviously the big draw for this film is the violence and gore, and Kill does not disappoint. When the fighting begins, Amrit and Varesh use non-lethal techniques to incapacitate the bandits. And the bandits were also trying not to kill. It was interesting to see because both sides were taking precautions to not kill anyone. However, this also makes those fight sequences feel a bit too long because everybody just kept getting back up. There wasn't any finality to these scuffles. That is until Talika is killed by Fani, and that's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer. This throws Amrit into a rage and he starts snapping necks. This is also when the title card for the movie finally shows, over 40 minutes into the film. From here on out, it's a no-holds-barred bloodbath. At least for Amrit. Surprisingly, the bandits were still trying to incapacitate him, albeit with more force. But as more and more bandits die, Fani decides that Amrit must be taken out. The fight sequences are creative and often brutal. The bandits use a wide array of blades, axes, and blunt objects. Amrit uses those too, but also objects he finds on the train. There were a few kills that surprised me, not because I haven't seen anything like them before, but because I wasn't really expecting them in this film. I can see why this movie is being hailed as the most violent and goriest film India has ever produced. The blood comes out in buckets. Plus, since this is on a train, it all stays there. Well, at least the physical blood. Kill does use CGI blood quite often. Now, it's not my favorite, but I understand why it was used. However, there were a few times where the blood would just flow wild like water. It had no viscosity whatsoever. Those scenes felt like the director was just going for a shock factor rather than realism. Like he was trying to put as much blood into those scenes as possible. It didn't work for me as much as the practical blood. There was also good use of prosthetics and body doubles. This allowed for even greater detail of the brutality. And this violence wasn't just between Amrit and the bandits. Plenty of civilians, young and old, get tossed around. Now you have to remember that all of this fighting is happening inside of a tight passenger train. And this train was a completely built set. According to the director, 80% of people travel via train in India. So he knew that the train set had to be super authentic for the Indian audience to buy it. They used many of the same construction materials that real trains use. But the caveat is that all of the walls are removable, so the camera can go into each compartment fully. There are multiple lighting apparatuses that are used to simulate the passing train stations and streetlights. They even built the whole set on springs so the train would have its signature rocking back and forth. This gave the film such an authenticity. Seeing an actor bump into the wall unscripted because the set is moving really added to the realism. It was such a painstaking task to create this set, and I honestly didn't think of it as being a set while watching. The character and camera movements felt confined. It really felt like you were on this passenger train. Kill had a strong theme of family that I found to be a little strange. Now obviously Tulika and her family are really close and they want to protect each other, as does Amrit when he wants to protect Tulika and Varesh. But this idea of family extended to the bandits as well. Traditionally in these type of action films, bad guys are just bad guys. There might be a few named ones, but most of them are just cannon fodder. The bandits in Kill all have names. The gang is run by a set of brothers and their children. Then it extends outwards to cousins and family friends. Every time a bandit was killed, they would mourn their death. And I mean like full-on wailing. And when one of the family heads died, they had an impromptu funeral. And again, I don't know if this is something that Bollywood movies do. If it is, tell me about it in the comments. But it kind of made me start to feel sorry for them, because the only reason that Amrit was on this killing spree is because Fani killed Tulika, and now they were losing their family members. Connecting to this sense of family are the healing powers of thought. Now in a lot of action movies, when the hero is down, they just think of their loved one or the cause that they are fighting for, and they get a second wind. And that happened to Amrit multiple times. Too many times. He would get beaten and bound, but then think of Tulika and break free. He got beaten unconscious by a crowbar, but then he thinks of his friends and snaps right out of it. It's a cheesy action trope that happened way too much. In conclusion, my first foreign language bargain bin movie review was an interesting one. Kill is an action-packed, well-filmed bloodfest. The train set was immaculate, the action scenes seamless. But if you're looking for more substance to the plot, it might be best to just wait for the next train. And that is why I'm giving the 2023 Indian film Kill the ticket-punching score of 7 out of 10. If you're looking for a well-made battle royale film with little story, Kill is what you want. It's currently streaming on Hulu and available for purchase on Prime, or maybe in your local Walmart bargain bin. So, did you see Kill? If so, sit down in the comment car and tell me all about it. And please like and subscribe for more Rock'em Sock'em content just like this. I'll see you when you wake up.